If reassurance actually worked, anxiety would disappear after the first time someone told you, you're fine. If that one text, that one medical test, or that one Google search actually solved the problem, you wouldn't be here watching this video. But the reason is because it doesn't work. In fact, it's actually doing the opposite. We think of reassurance as a fire extinguisher, something to put out the flames of panic, but in the world of clinical psychology, we see it as something else. Reassurance is fuel, and every time you seek it, you're feeding the very monster you're trying to eliminate. Today, we're going to talk about why feeling better in the short term is actually ruining your progress in the long term, and how to finally teach your brain that uncertainty isn't a death trap. So let's talk about the reassurance trap of reassurance. To understand why this is a thing, we have to look at how your brain learns. Your nervous system is a pattern matching machine. When you feel a spike of anxiety, let's say you're worried a mole looks weird, or your brain enters a state of high alert. If you watch my last video, think about the barking dog at a window. It thinks there's a predator in the room. When you ask Google what your symptoms are, or you ask a friend, hey, does this look okay? And they say, you're fine, your anxiety drops. You feel this instant wave of relief most times. But here's the catch. Your brain just took a mental snapshot of that moment. It didn't learn the moment was safe. What it did learn was that the only reason you survived was because you actually checked. You just taught your nervous system that danger was real and that checking saved your life. You've just successfully reinforced the idea that you cannot handle uncertainty on your own. So let's look at the short-term relief versus the long-term reinforcement. In behavior psychology, we call this a negative reinforcement. I want you to think of it as like a tax. Your anxiety charges you. If you pay the tax by checking the stove for the 5th time, checking the door for the 8th time, asking your partner if they're mad at you. This is especially good for my anxiety attachment folks. The anxiety goes away for an hour. But because you paid the tax, right, you checked up on these different things, anxiety knows that it can come back tomorrow and demand a higher price. This is why reassurance is kind of like its own mental addiction. The first time, okay, it's enough. But eventually you'll need 3 people to tell you, then you need to see a doctor, then you gotta see a specialist, and it starts to spiral out of control. Relief is not the same thing as safety. Relief is a feeling. Safety is a fact. And when we chase this feeling of relief, we stop looking at the fact of our safety. We become kind of like certainty junkies, unable to function unless we are 100% sure of the outcome. And as we all know, life does not give you 100%. So let's look at some real life examples. This can show up in 3 main ways. The first one we'll call a digital check. That's constant Googling or scrolling forums for success stories. The second one can be kind of like a social check. That's asking friends, parents, or partners the same question over and over again. Are you sure I didn't offend them? Would you still love me if I was a worm? My wife asks that one a lot. Do you think I'll get fired? Baby, I love you. The third one is a body scanning check. You check your body for sensations, whether they be weird or not, or checking your heart rate every 10 minutes. But again, if you recognize this is not to judge you or to call you out or make you feel some kind of way. Again, this is your brain trying to protect you. In short, using an outdated model, but it's doing its best to keep you safe. It's treating a maybe like a trigger. So here's my favorite part of this entire video. Let's figure out how to stop this. The goal of anxiety recovery isn't to find out for sure that nothing bad will happen. Bad things will happen. We're human, this is life, and we can never account for every factor no matter how much we want to. The goal, in fact, is to build the muscle that says, even if I don't know for sure of what's happening, I am capable of handling it. So, this is your challenge for this week. The next time you feel that itch to go ask for reassurance or to check your phone, I want you to wait 5 minutes. Use your phone, start a counter, wait 5 minutes. Don't tell yourself you can't check. Just tell yourself, I'll check in 5 minutes. In those 5 minutes, be ready for this. Your anxiety will spike because you're rewiring your brain's system with how it deals with anxiety. It will spike, but then, believe it or not, it will naturally plateau. Because what you're doing, you're teaching your amygdala that the danger didn't kill you even without the reassurance. The work isn't about feeling better. We are rewiring our brain to get better at feeling. That is our entire goal with therapy, with maybe you watching these videos, is to rewire our brain's relationship with anxiety. Because once you realize that uncertainty is survivable, anxiety loses its power over you. It's that simple. In theory, at least. If this helped you understand your brain a little better, please hit the like button and let me know in the comments what's one thing you're going to try to stop checking today. And I'll see you in the next video. Also, if you watch my first video, you will see that I've gotten a little bit better at my outros. So we're going to continue to get better. Thank you, and I'll see y'all next time.